The dates for the Jammu and Kashmir elections and Haryana elections are out, and the dates are on your screens. 10 years after the assembly elections were held, 5 years after the abrogation of Article 370, and the first election after general elections will take place in Jammu and Kashmir, and it will go to polls in 3 phases. Amandeep is joining us, and he's going to get us details of the political scenario in the state of Haryana. The dates are announced, and viewers, take a look at your screens. In Jammu and Kashmir, voting will take place in 3 phases on your screens. That's the 18th of September, 25th of September and the 1st of October, and result day will be on the 4th of October. In Haryana, which will be a single phase election, voters will in fact go and cast their vote on the 1st of October, and 4th is when we will know who's forming the Sarkar in the state of Haryana. As I go across to my colleagues, let me take one quick word from Amandeep. Amandeep, the dates are out. Take us through the political mood in the state.
Well, absolutely. Haryana's scenario is completely different, and in fact, Haryana is going to witness the polls in only one phase, and October 1, and in fact, on 4th of October, the results would be out. And even there is a very complicated situation for BJP as well as for Congress also, just because the alliance has not been decided. And in fact, we are joined with us Haryana Congress Working President, Mr. Jitendra Bharadwaj. Sir, election dates are out, and Haryana is going to witness the elections only one phase. What is your first reaction?
We are already prepared for the election. We already demanded from the government that we should fight with the central election, but they delayed, in our opinion. But in technically they have declared before 1 month. So we welcome. We are already prepared. We are already, all Congress is prepared.
What would be the strategy of the Congress party for these polls? Just because the phases are not divided, one phase, one election, that means Haryana is going to, entire Haryana 90 seats going to witness on one date. What would be the strategy of Congress party for campaign, for issues, and even for pre-poll alliance and post-poll alliance?
All strategies are ready. Our leaders are coming. Press conference we will start after some time. We are ready. We are totally prepared. Already we have taken the applications. So 2,600 applications came from all of Haryana. So we are totally prepared.
And what would be the issues that Haryana Congress is going to highlight during these elections?
So many issues are there. If I will give the issues, you will find out a very big list. Corruption, there is a terror in the public. So, and Haryana is going down. This is the main issue. Number one, Haryana has become the last of the India's Haryana. So we are coming with the progressive Haryana. We are coming with the policies for the progressive Haryana. This is our main issue.
But in a Congress party, there are two groups working here in Haryana, Kumari Shailja and Hooda group. Are you going to, will the Congress be able to handle this situation, just because both are campaigning on the different lines? Both are not participating in their own meetings.
No groupism. Everybody, they are center leaders. They are working in the center. Whenever they have a time, they are coming, and all are working for the Congress. All are working for the public, or all are appealing for the public, for the Congress. If you can tell anybody is saying against the Congress, then tell me. Then no groupism. Everybody is working in the leadership. Kharge ji and Rahul ji, they are our leaders. We all are doing the work for the Congress.
So BJP has already given the chief ministerial face, that is Naib Singh Saini again. So what is the strategy of the Congress? On which phase is Congress going to contest this election?
This is not our culture. We will fight the election. Our MLAs and our High Command will decide the CM after that.
So in fact, see, the Congress working president is claiming that Congress is all prepared to fight this election. But on the other side, there are several issues that Congress is going to witness in this entire election.
All right.
Yes.
So that's the first reaction coming in from the Congress in Haryana. Amandeep, do stay with us. We also have Pradeep Datta joining us, and Yavar also joining us from Srinagar. I'd also like to welcome our guests, R. Rajgopalan, senior journalist, and Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist, joining us. But before I go across to our guests, let me also get in a quick word from Pradeep Datta. Pradeep, everyone was waiting with bated breath for these dates, and all of us know the significance of these elections that are going to take place, the elections in Jammu and Kashmir, which will take place in 3 phases. What's the sentiment on the ground?
Yes, you're absolutely right. For the last 1 decade, everybody had been waiting for this kind of an announcement because last elections were held in 2014 and that government lasted for only a few years, and after that, Mehbooba Mufti was booted out because BJP had said that she was not working what actually the country really required. She was trying to keep all those anti-national elements in good humor. So she was booted out of power, and since then we have seen so many changes, twists and turns in Jammu and Kashmir, and this will be the first election, the assembly election, after abrogation of Article 370. So after 2019, this is going to be the first election. And you rightly said, because when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, as has been said by Chief Election Commissioner, it is not only when you see the queues, long queues. This is a demonstration of ballot over bullet. It's also a big setback for Pakistan and Pak proxies, who were trying their level best to scuttle peace in the region. During the recent past, we have seen that there has been spurt in terror-related incidents. They thought that maybe this way they will be able to prevent Jammu from Election Commission of India from conducting election. But keeping in view the aspiration of the people and the kind of response they got from the different political parties. So finally, Election Commission of India decided that this is the high time that they should go for the election. And this
Pradeep, do stay with us because we have Raman Malik of the Bharatiya Janata Party joining us. The dates have been announced for the elections in Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana. But let me ask you a larger picture. There are multiple questions that are being asked. The opposition at the national level is claiming that after the Lok Sabha elections, the Bharatiya Janata Party is on a weak footing. How are you looking at the larger political scenario as all sides gear up for these elections?
I believe everyone is free to have their own opinion. If the opposition intends to have this particular opinion that you are narrating here, they are most welcome to have it. But Haryana has become the first state, it's an agrarian state, and it has become the first state in the nation to make sure that 130-40 crore rupees of pending farm loans of Haryana were waived off. It is the first state in the nation to give 23 or 24 crops to be under MSP. One. Second, we have made sure that we as an agrarian state, as well as a state from where a lot of youth go into the armed forces, we have taken care of the Agniveer candidates who complete their tenure and come out. We have given them age of relaxation and everything which is required. Also, various other schemes which were required have been done. But the broader prospect is that we must understand that 1st of October is when the people of Haryana, about 1 crore 6 lakh odd males and about 96 lakh females, and the third gender, they go in for choosing the people who serve them. So my appeal through you is कि बिना पर्ची और खर्ची के कैंडिडेट को चुनिए, बिकॉज जो पर्ची और खर्ची उनको रात को मिलती है, जिसमें शराब भी आ जाती है और दूसरे पैसे भी आ जाते हैं, उसको लेके जात पात पे लेके डू नॉट चूज द पर्सन whom you can ask what is your plan for the next 10 years, 15 years, 30 years.
So, Mr. Malik, as you go into the micro issues concerning the state of Haryana, I'd like to thank you here because we have multiple other questions when it comes to the current and the changing scenario in the state of Haryana. But let me also go across to Mohit Bhan of the PDP. Mr. Bhan, election dates for Jammu and Kashmir have been announced. Jammu and Kashmir will go to polls in 3 phases. How are you looking at this? Do you look at this as a boost for democracy in Jammu and Kashmir? Mr. Bhan, if you can hear me.
Hello?
Yes, Mohit Bhan. The dates for Jammu and Kashmir elections have been announced. Elections will happen in 3 phases, 18th of September, 25th of September and 1st of October. And by the 4th, we'll know the results. What's your first response?
I think, the today's press conference, which was heard, it's too little and too late. The way was boasting about the elections in Jammu and Kashmir was, in a way, making the mockery of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. One, that they have delayed the democratic process for almost 10 years, and that too when they have stripped the people of Jammu and Kashmir of a statehood of a state which was once be one of the most powerful states in this country. And today they have reduced this to a municipality where any elected government will be at the mercy, at the behest of the LG's office for the smallest thing. And they are boasting it as if they have achieved some phenomenal milestone in the democracy. I think the bare minimum what the CEC or the government of India could have done is to first restore the statehood, win the hearts and minds of the people, and then go for.
But having elections has also been a demand from parties in the in Jammu and Kashmir. That has been a demand. But even when the ECI went ahead, there were major representatives of both the parties weren't a part of it. So right now, when dates have been announced, shouldn't both the PDP and the NC embrace the decision and also gear up for polls so that people get another chance at participating in this democratic process?
Absolutely. There was the demand for the election. Whenever the election commissioner was visiting Jammu and Kashmir, our representatives did visit them, and they did speak with the visiting delegation. But you were only telling the one side of the story. What we discussed with the team was clearly that the entire and full statehood is the bare minimum thing they should restore first. Win the confidence of the people and then go for the elections. You can't tell that only we went there to demand for the elections. No. We are not hungry for the elections. There is no mercy. We're not there for the
But it's not about the parties, it's about the people. And Mr. Ban, thank you so much for joining us with your view. So that's the PDP spokesperson saying that their demand was to ensure that statehood be restored first and then have elections. And these are elections coming after 10 years. I'd like to ask our guests to please stay along with us because this is our top focus here. Mr. Rashid Kidwai and Rajgopalan, please do stay on. Taking a short break here. We'll be back as we discuss the larger implications of the elections and the states that are gearing up